Welcome back to another episode of Whatcha Bakin. So we're doing a recipe box tour. So we're going to make my mother's chocolate chip cookies. Now, there's a caveat to this. We have a coworker whose birthday is the 2nd. And we're doing a surprise party for her because she doesn't really like her birthday being celebrated. So I'm going to make some little tiny, because we're having a tiny birthday. So I'll make some tiny chocolate chip cookies. Only going to make 8 tiny chocolate chip cookies though. The rest of them are going to be regular size. So let's get started. Preheat your oven to 375. Always check and make sure there's nothing in there. I've also had some people complain that I don't make enough desserts. I have a ton of dessert recipes, and I put a poll out to see what you guys wanted to see next, and no one commented. So how am I supposed to make content and videos on my recipe box tour and desserts if y'all don't freaking comment on what you want? Rant over. I love you guys. Okay, so we have a cup or 2 sticks of softened butter. And we need 1 cup of sugar. I'm going to do just a smidge more just because mine wasn't level. We need a cup of brown sugar. Now, what we're going to do is called creaming. I don't know why I left that in there. So we're going to do that. We're going to get these to where they're all kind of homogenized, and then we're going to add the vanilla, the eggs, and the flour and all that jazz. So let's go do that. So that's the consistency that you're kind of looking for. This is, like I said, it's not done yet, so don't judge it harshly yet. 2 teaspoons or little t of vanilla, but I ain't got time to measure that shit out. And 1 huevos. 2 huevos. Always put it in, when you crack eggs for baking, put it in a separate cup so that if there's a shell, it's easier to fish out. And now mix. Make sure you give your dogs the eggshells because it's a good little treat for them and they're so cute. Lily's not a big fan of them, but she eats them anyways. We don't waste in this house. Now you're gonna need 1, 2, 3 cups of flour. And you will need a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Not powder, but soda. Made that mistake before. And then you're also going to need a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to go ahead and add that in here. About like that. Okay. Now let's sift our flour. Our oven's done, y'all. Let's sift our flour. Sift the flour. Now we have our sifted dry ingredients, excuse me. You can prep the dry ingredients beforehand, and typically I do, but I just couldn't be bothered today, y'all. So now I'm just going to pour it directly in. And I'm just kind of pushing my dry ingredients around just so that it doesn't just when we turn it on, because I've had that happen too. Always turn it on a low speed when you first put your flour in there because you never know what's going to happen. So let's find out! Pretty anticlimactic. We've had a couple spills, but it's fine. Nothing we can't deal with. So the last and final ingredient is 2 cups of chocolate chips. Pause this guy. Last ingredient is 2 cups of chocolate chips, but that leaves this much in. Aw, these aren't the minis. I was gonna be a smarty pants and get the mini chocolate chips, but whatever, because it's a mini birthday party. Get it? I thought it was funny. Anyways, so you're gonna add a bag of chocolate chips. Like I said, it calls for 2 cups, but I come to find out it leaves this much of the bag. And what am I going to do? Just leave that? No. Throw it in there. It's fine. So I'm actually actually kind of excited, guys, because I get to use my cookie scoops that I got for my birthday, and I haven't been able to use them yet. So we have a pan here. Oh, I need to, there you go, of non-stick spray, just because. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your cookie scoop. Those of y'all that have never used these before in your entire life, what you do is you kind of scoop it and then rub it up against the side to get the perfect cookie. Onto the plate they go. I've never used this size, so I'm not entirely sure how big these are gonna go. So we're gonna go with 6 to start out with. Now you're gonna bake it for 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how well done you want your cookie. And then just lather, rinse, repeat. So I'll see you in a minute. So I set my timer for 10 minutes. So now I'm going to do dishes. See you in 10. Oh, get a cookie sheet drying rack type thing out if you have one. And then we're gonna take our cookies and let them dry. So I'm gonna take a hand towel that I have, and then I'm gonna lay the cookie drying sheet on top of it so that it doesn't hurt my table. So do that. Okay, it's been 10 minutes later, so let's check on our cookies. Okay, they're still a little like raw looking to me, so I'm gonna put them in for another, I'm gonna do 5 minutes. I don't want to burn. 3 minutes. So 3 minutes, we'll check on them again. Okay, 3 minutes later. 3 minutes is probably too long. Do 2 minutes next time. Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take you guys over here actually. Now, so that we can make more cookies, I'm gonna take these cookies and I'm gonna put them on the wire rack. Like this. To cool. Okay. And then we're gonna get Colton to try them. I already know he's gonna like them, so, but it's per tradition. So we're gonna get Colton as soon as these guys cool off a little bit. Well, we already got one critique. They're a little
black.
They're a little burned.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, you guys have seen my first fail. Don't cook them as long as I did, but I have other batches that are going to be at different temps. So these guys were cooked for like 15 or 13 minutes. These guys were cooked for 11 minutes. So you want something crunchy and something good? $11 minutes. That's the secret, guys. Y'all hungry?